Now, a new study by researchers in Melbourne has looked at why children seem to be much more resistant to the worst effects of COVID-19 compared to adults. It's a question that scientists have been investigating since the start of the pandemic. Dr. Melanie Nealon from the Murdoch Children's Research Institute joins us now. Melanie, a very good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you on board. I'm very interested in this research. Tell us what it focused on in particular.
Yeah, so in this study, we actually enrolled children and adults from Melbourne households, and we explored differences in their immune responses, both in the children and adults who were positive for COVID-19. And we were interested in these immune responses because, as you mentioned, we know that children are more likely to have mild disease compared to adults.
And what has this study found?
Yeah, so what we actually showed was the innate immune system, which is the part of our immune system responsible for our first line of defence against viruses and bacteria as they enter our body, was actually highly activated in children with COVID-19. And these children showed increased inflammatory responses, and they also showed activation of these first responder immune cells in the bloodstream. And so what was most interesting was that this strong and robust quick immune response was not observed in adults with COVID-19.
So why do adults therefore seem to lose this resistance as they move out of childhood?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and that's something we're still exploring, but we're definitely seeing some really key signatures suggesting that it is this first line inflammatory response that may be protecting children.
Okay, so of course we're all talking about the vaccination program. Welcome news for so many Australians. So does this research mean that kids should be given, as you found, their response to COVID at the back of the vaccination queue?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we really need to wait and see the results of clinical trials that are currently ongoing, assessing the safety and efficacy of these vaccines in children. And I also think it's important to remember that, while most children will have a more mild disease, we do see a small proportion of children actually experiencing severe COVID, and they can become quite unwell. So I think it's important to also protect the children who may be more susceptible, and vaccines will be a great way to do that.
As I said, fascinating research. Melanie Nealon, thank you so much for coming on to talk about it this morning.
Thank you so much.